Welcome back, Blue Raider Nation, to another Blue Raider Breakdown post-game show. I have assistant coach Tom Hodges here with us after a tough loss against the Auburn Tigers, 68-52. First, Coach, I just want to get your first impression. How would you evaluate tonight's execution overall?
Yeah, Emmy, it was a tough night. Obviously, we struggled in some spots, but that's a credit to Auburn. Obviously, an SEC opponent with SEC athleticism made us do some things we didn't want to do, and put a lot of pressure on us in some spots that we didn't want to be in. But when we did execute offensively, when we got the ball where we wanted to get it to, we saw some positives, and there's some positives to glean out of this that we'll take and move forward and go to Wichita and then get ready for Conference USA play.
Coach Insel was talking a lot about, in practice, you all are practicing hard. It looks like, the game plan is coming together and it will come to fruition, and then it's just not translating. How do you all, especially as coaches, I know it's hard whenever you're looking at your players and you're giving them the recipe for, greatness, but how do you, especially with these young team, I know we hate saying it, but this young team, how do you make sure that you're going back and
Right. Well, they don't want to turn it over.
No.
They don't want to miss shots. So our job as coaches is be there to help them when they need us. That's our job. And so we'll continue to do that. They are practicing extremely hard to represent Middle Tennessee. We had a great crowd here tonight that I hope saw a team that doesn't get it all right, but they certainly try. They're doing everything they can to be a positive Lady Raider and a Blue Raider. So we'll just keep chopping wood and carrying water. That's all we can do, and that's what Coach Insel's done for 21 years now. And there's nobody better to lead this young team. And if they'll continue to follow his guidance and us as a staff follow his guidance, we'll be all right.
The girls have constantly talked about that this team is fighters and that they constantly are wanting to chop wood and, fix the issues at hand. But when we are looking at some positives with players, Emily Munson, she's done some phenomenal work these past couple games. And also Carson tonight, she had a career high of 11 points. So there's positives. What are you seeing from certain players like that are just really trying to push through?
Absolutely. Emily continues to come on. In our post-game coaching meeting, Emily maxes out her ability. In these last 3 games, Emily has maxed out her ability. She's given us everything that she's capable of, and really trying to do what we're asking to do, especially on the defensive end. Hit a really tough 3 tonight, contested. We need more of that from her, certainly, and really like the things that Emily's doing. Carson didn't practice all week last week on an ankle injury. So, it's trial by fire. We've kind of jumped off a cliff here, and we're growing our wings on the way down. But Blair and Macy continue to battle inside. We're asking 2 freshman post players to battle, SEC opponents. And that's tough, and especially when the game plan centers around those 2, and they have not backed off a bit, and that's a big positive for us. They want it. You can't replicate those type of things. So certainly the outcome is not what we want, but the positives and the silver linings are still there.
Yes, and there's growth.
Absolutely.
Well, now we're moving on to Wichita State on the road on Saturday, and then after that we're entering conference play. So you won't be back here at the Murphy Center until January 8th. So which just kind of the mindset, especially on the road, playing hard defensively and offensively for your girls to just make sure they flourish.
Yeah, sometimes, in a spot like we're in, Emmy, sometimes going on the road's not a bad thing because you kind of insulate yourself.
Yeah.
You kind of can come together as a team. So it's not all that bad for us to have this next couple days of practice here, and then we'll get on a plane and go to Wichita, another American Conference team. But it'll be good for us to continue to band together. It'll be good for the girls to have some time at home, for Christmas, and then we'll get ready for Conference USA play. We've lived a pretty charmed life here the last 4 or 5 years, and we're just having to work for our dinner a little bit now this season. That's okay. It's nothing bad about hard work and putting your nose to the grindstone. And the good thing is, like Coach said, and like you said, they haven't backed off of that, and we'll just keep doing it, and it'll come. It'll come eventually. It's just like Novocaine, give it a little time. It'll always work.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Coach. Like we just said, they will be on the road until January 8th. Will they play UTEP here at the Murphy Center? So be on the watch. And as always, let's go Blue.